Hey y'all, it's Kathy with Random Acts of Crafting, and I decided today that I wanted to do a card that was a little different, and this is what I came up with. I saw this design on Pinterest and I thought, that looks really interesting and kind of different. I had not seen a card like this, and I know some of you said that you like the fact that I bring you some unusual and unique cards. So I am trying to continue on that idea, and that's my purpose in doing this card. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we're going to get started with this. But first of all, I want to say that this was just a prototype. I decided that I wanted to use a pattern paper and maybe a solid paper in the middle to give it more color, and this was made out of the same paper pack as my flowers. And what I did is, what I cut my panel out of, I fussy cut flowers out of that same paper pack and just kind of glued them down, some of them down flat, some of them on dimensions, and that's where I got this from. And then this dragonfly came from Maymay's set called Wings, and also this word Imagine. And someone brought it to my attention that I showed this card to, and that was Donna Satterley, that this card could very well go in this direction or this direction. Now, I intended it to go in this direction because the one that I saw on Pinterest was like this, with some flowers and stuff up here. So, and they just had a sentiment here and nothing here. But I decided I wanted to do it a little bit different, but this would work too, and how cute is that? So, this is a card that could go in either orientation, landscape or portrait. So anyway, what I did is I sat down and I figured out where we needed to measure, how far we needed to measure up, and this is a 4" by 5 1/4 card base. 4 inches this way, 5 1/4 this way, and I cut a piece of pattern paper, and this is from the paper pack by Echo Park called Coffee, and I can show you the front cover of that in case you want to see if you can find it. I don't know if Maymay still has it in stock or not, but I do know this was in her shop I'm just going to bring out the front cover of it so we don't have to go through the entire paper pack. But this is what it was, and it's just titled Coffee. It is Echo Park, and it says Coffee Collection Kit. So if Maymay still has it, you can definitely hop over to her store. Please use my affiliate link below. Any products that you buy from Maymay's store, because I am affiliated with her, I get a small commission back on whatever I sell on my YouTube channel. It doesn't cost you any extra. It just gives me a little bit of a kickback, so that helps me buy supplies to bring more content to y'all. So anyway, what I did is I measured. This is this corner, and the first measurement is a 1/2 inch. So we're going to use our ruler, and we're going to come in a 1/2 inch. Let's see, this way. We are going to measure down a 1/2 inch from the top, and I am going to take a pencil and make a very faint line right there, enough so I can see it, and then we're going to come down to 1 inch. I'm sorry, 1.5 inches. 1.5. I made my notes so that I wouldn't forget. And we're going to come down like that. So we have our 1/2 and 1.5. So we got 1 inch in between those. Then we're going to turn it over to the other side. This is our top corner. This is our bottom corner. And we're going to measure up exactly 2 inches. So just again, make a very faint pencil mark. And you want it to go to your edge because you are going to be angle cutting to get that little wedge angle out of here. You're going to need to cut these at an angle. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go back up to that 1/2 inch, and I'm going to line up my ruler, and I'm going to come up to that 2 inch mark. So from the 1/2 to the 2 inch mark here, and we're just going to do a line like so. And then we're going to go down here to this 1.5 inch mark. We're going to line that up right there on the corner of it and take it to the point of this the end of the card right there, that point, the corner. So we're going to draw that out. Now if you notice, this is giving us our piece that we need to cut out. So I am going to use my scissors. You can do it on the on your trimmer if you like. I just found it to be much easier to use my shears and just cut this straight up like so. Then I'm going to come in on this corner and I'm going to cut that straight up. Now I'm taking my time because you do want to take your time and make sure you get this as straight as you possibly can. So now you can see if we put our card back together, and I'm going to use my mat here to show this. So I'm going to line it up there, line this up here, and line this back up here. We have our complete 5.5 inch card. But I don't want to do this. I want to make this card a little bit fancier. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay this down on a different color piece of paper, and I think I'm going to do this teal. So I am going to lay this down right here on this corner edge. Maybe we're going to have to do it this way. So you want to make sure you've got enough of paper to get this all the way down and all the way around. So let's get it as straight as we can, and then all I'm going to do is trace it. This is going to act as a template for your piece. Doesn't have to be completely perfect, but you do want that shape to be nice and straight. Now I did get a little crooked there, so when I go down I'm going to be very careful to make sure that I cut that evenly. So I'm going to go there, and then I'm just going to go straight down like so. And then right here I'm just going to kind of ignore that line but go to that point. And then back up on this side. Just like that. And we're going to lay these scraps. Now this piece we can't use. I mean, there's a beautiful green on the back, but we can't use it because it doesn't fit. It is cut in the wrong orientation because it fits in like this. That's why it's important when you lay this down not to flip this piece. If you flip it over and cut it, you're not going to have the right orientation. So make sure when you do that you are being really careful to make sure that this piece is in there like it should be. Just like that. And then that will fit right there. But now we're going to need to trim off just a tiny bit. So I'm going to come in. I am going to actually use my Tim Holtz ruler, and I am going to take a 1/4 inch off of this. And I'll tell you why I'm doing that. I'm going to come in, let's see, I'm going to put it right here on my mat. Get it up here. I want to make sure that I am in camera frame because this is crucial. I am going to come in a 1/4 inch, and I'm using my mat to line that up. That's a 1/4 inch where those little dots are, and I am actually going to use my X-Acto knife. Let's see if I can find it, or the pen blade, whichever one I put my hand on first. Okay, here's my X-Acto knife. This is a Fiskars. I like the feel of this because you've got a nice grip in your hand, but I am going to make a very even pass. And we'll see, and that pulls away, which is good. Now this is our top piece, and that's one thing you want to keep in mind, which way your orientation's going, because what we're going to do is we're going to actually put in a border, and so because we're adding a border, we are taking that 1/4 inch off because I'm going to put a 1/4 piece border in there. So now we're going to take this, line it up, and go here again, and just get it on that mark as best you can, and then look at your 1/4 inch marks on your mat. And if you don't have a mat, use your ruler and draw a line and then just cut it off. For me, this is just easier because I can easily slice this off like so. There we go. Now we have our top and our bottom, and we have room enough to put a mat. And the mat that I want to use is black. So I am going to cut a 1/2 inch because I want enough to go under with a 1/4 inch hanging off. I'm going to cut 2 of them so that I'll have enough and I won't have to come back and cut again. So 2 1/2 inch strips of a coordinating cardstock. It doesn't have to be black. You can pick whichever color works for you. So what I'm going to do is I am going to glue that down about halfway, like so, just like that. And that's going to give us that 1/2 inch. And then we are going to actually put this under it. So that's going to work out really, really, really good. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start about here, and I'm just going to put a line of glue about like so. I didn't measure it or anything. I'm just kind of wanting to sit this in the glue about to there. Now don't worry if the glue oozes out. We know that our art glitter glue dries clear. Might have a little teeny sheen on our paper, but that's okay. That is all right. Now we've got that on there. Let's come back and we are going to put this on here. But the one thing we want to make sure is that this matches up to a square. See what I'm saying? We want this to match this. So let's cut this other take this other strip, and we're going to glue it the same way. We're going to put a little strip of glue along there, and we're going to sit this piece right down in it about halfway, just like that. Once you get these dry, you can lift them up, and you know art glitter glue doesn't take long to adhere, so we are good to go. And I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this off. It's going to be at an angle, but it's really straight with your cardstock, like so. And I'm going to do the same thing up here. I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut that off even with my card, just like that. So again, remember your orientation of your paper and what is the bottom and what is the top, because that is super, super, super important. Okay, so now we are going to put this on top of that. So I'm going to run a bead of glue right along here. Just at the top. We're not going to worry about the bottom yet. And we are going to glue that down like so, making sure that this corner is matching up there to the top. You do want that top corner to look like it's squared off up there, just like so. And then we're going to do the same thing down here. We're going to glue this in. A good rule of thumb is to put it on top of your little piece that you've cut to make your measurements on. And then when you put this up here, you can see exactly where you need to butt that up to. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to run a thin bead of glue. Alright, so we're back and we've gotten our card together. This is actually what we did. We cut down that middle out like I showed you using these measurements. And again, this will all be on in the description under this video. I did glue on the little black pieces to kind of give a border. And I have a card base of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I scored it at 5 1/2. And I thought that the card kind of got lost on here. So what I did is I cut another card base, or a mat. So I'm going to double mat this. So this is going to be the one mat, and I picked a paper that was in the the paper pack that would coordinate with this, and it's going to give us just a little peek of that color around the outside with the border of the black, and I think that looks really, really good. But before we stick anything down, I'm going to look in my sticker sheet and see what we can accentuate this with. Now, since it is coffee themed, I thought that it would be really cute to put some coffee up there in it, but I also love these flowers. I think these would be so cute popped up on there, so we're going to lay those right here. And I love this coffee cup right here. I think that's and this one says, "I like big cups and I cannot lie." I think that's adorable. And this one's cute too. "Coffee every day." I like that. So I am going to trying to decide which way I want to do this. I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's pop this up on some dimensions and stick it right here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. I'll tell you what we can do. Let's lay this back down for just a moment. I might use my powder tool to take some of the sticky off of that, but I'm going to put this down on my cardstock, on my card base. So let's go ahead and just put some glue. And I let my glue get, it's like it's needing burping or something. I probably need to clean it off again. Ever so often on the art glitter glue, you have to take it apart and clean. I will clean my fine metal tip every so often when it starts giving me trouble like this, but it has been behaving really well. And then all of a sudden it just wants to be a little bit of a pain. But I think we got it going now. Make sure you, anytime you're doing the cards, make sure you get enough of glue around the edges because you don't want your edges popping up. And you could put this down with a ATG gun or whatever, but since I had my art glitter glue out, I figured I'd just go ahead and stick that down with my art glitter glue. And now I'm going to lay this on it. And let's see if we can use our little powder tool. And this is actually our little anti-static pillow that we use with our heat embossing. So I'm just going to very, very gently take this to it. And all this is going to do is take the sticky out of it, and then we can actually foam that up, and that will make it really nice for putting the dimensionals on. Let's see, that took every bit of the sticky out. We can actually lay that where we want it now and see exactly how we want to put that on there. I think before I do any more embellishing, I'm going to go ahead, and I didn't think I was, but you know what, I am going to put this down using my ATG. I have really embraced using this as of lately. When I first got this gun, and I think I told y'all that in previous videos, I didn't like it. I could not get it to work for me. I would try to put a card, a front on a card, a mat, and I would just make a mess of things. But like with anything, we get better with practice, and I have gotten better at getting mats put down, and so now I love it. I can usually get my cards right where I want them on the first go, and that looks really good right there. And I'm going to pull out some Scotch, the 3-dimensional double-sided tape. And I've got one piece here, so let's see if we're going to need any more than that. That's going to fit right there really well. And I think we will need a couple more pieces, so let's see. What did I do with my scissors? I put them up. And I'm just going to cut a couple of little pieces like this. Maybe one. I think one might do it. I think that'll be plenty. So this is such a cute little embellishment, and I just love the stickers on the paper packs. I think it makes your crafting so easy and so much fun. And I want that to look like it's hanging down right there, like so, just like that. And now we need to put a coffee cup or something right here. Let's see. This would be so cute for somebody that loves coffee. How about this? Coffee and Friends. Right across there. I love that. Isn't that cute? You know what I do want to do? I think I want to pop that up. So, look at the stuff coming off my fingers. You know what? I think if we do it right here, we got enough of that powder already on my work surface to take the sticky off of that. And that's exactly what it was picking up, along with the ink and dirt and the black from the paper that I was using. My fingers are so dirty. But we're not going to need a whole wide piece of this, so I'm going to cut it in half, like so. I'll tell you what, we're going to cut a piece off the length that we need it, and we need it about yay long. And then we're going to cut this in half, maybe a little less than half. And I'm going to stick that piece right back on my roll. And let's grab this piece and we're going to put it right here. And let's put this right across here like this. Coffee and Friends. Now inside I am going to do what I normally do, and that is cut a piece of, I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece of white cardstock to go inside, and I'm wondering if I want to mat it maybe on this. That would be really cute, and then do a, maybe not. I don't want to really do an overkill. I love this. If we could get a little piece of that blue. Let's see, we might already have a piece of the blue. That would be cute. And we can, hey, perfect. Okay, let's use our AGT again. And I am going to run it across the bottom and across the top. And then we're just going to put this down just like so. And now we've got a place where we can stamp a little sentiment, and I know exactly what I want to put on here. So let's move our stickers. And now 1 second, and let me get the sticker, the stamp set. Tracy and Bill Phillips from Mindless Crafting did this cute little thing that's coffee and donuts, and coffee makes me happy. So I think I am going to use this cup and Coffee Makes Me Happy from this set. I love these. I have not had a chance to use these since I got them. And how precious is this going to be? Coffee Makes Me Happy. And I am actually going to do this in VersaFine. And look at this beautiful little coffee cup right here. I'm going to put that right there in the corner, maybe here. And I think I want that right there in the middle. But on this other set that says Coffee and Donuts, I want you to look at what's on here. Look at this cute, cute, cute little steam coming up off of the mug. How precious is that? I love it. Okay, we are going to stamp these out. Let me get my stamp blocks. And we are going to go with this. I'm going to pick this one up with this. And let's see, we need a smaller one for this. Oops. And we need just a little bit bigger one for the coffee cup. And let's move the rest of this out of our way, get some VersaFine ink over here. Coffee makes me happy. Does anybody feel like that coffee makes you happy? So I'm going to stamp this about here. I love this font. I think it's so cute. It's got the little flourishes coming out of the side of it. It is adorable. Oh, and look how beautiful that's stamped. These stamps always look so pretty when they're stamped. Okay, we are going to put a stamp right here. Press it, press it, press it. So stinking cute. And now we're going to do the little steam with a heart coming up out of that cute little cup. How precious is that? Ah, I love it. I am loving this whole little coffee themed card. Now, is that not precious? I think it's adorable. I think any friend that loves coffee would love to get this, and even if they don't like coffee, they may love this card anyway. So I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I hope that you will hit the like button, share this video with someone, and if you have friends out there that are crafty and loves paper crafting, share my channel with them. I am trying to grow my channel, and I am trying my best to put up better and better content with each passing video. So thank you so much for your love, your support, your encouragement. It means so much to me. And I'm going to move everything out so you can hopefully just see this cute little card. And just look at that. I love it. It is so cute, and the paper coordinated so well. Again, I will list all the supplies, all of the measurements, and everything in the description below. So if you are interested in making this card, please just follow along with me. Get your paper and everything cut and picked out, and then just follow along with me. This is not a hard card to make, but it does make quite an impact. I want to thank you so much. Again, here's my little prototype that I started out with, and again, this one could go in either orientation. I hope you enjoyed it. Be a blessing to someone. Have a kind word for someone. And most of all, share the love of Jesus with someone. I thank you so much for everything that you mean to me. I love my subscribers, each and every one of you. If you have any suggestions of what you might like to see, leave them in the comments below, and I will do my very best to try to accommodate. So thanks again. Until I see you again, happy crafting. Bye-bye.